Hello and welcome back to God Bless Fantasy Football. Week 4 here. My name is Brandon Tiedemann. To my right, as always,
You got him.
Andrew Rogers.
That's me.
In the booth, the man behind the scenes. Now on the camera,
Boosting it.
Cam. How's
Cam
everyone
on the
doing?
cam.
Cam on the cam.
How's everyone doing?
Oh, we're doing okay. You know, I snuck a fantasy win yesterday.
Oh.
When I say snuck, I literally snuck one. I won by 0.2. 0.2. That's why decimals are a thing.
That's
Remember
what
your
decimals
buddy?
matter.
Maddle?
Decimals battle.
Matter.
It wouldn't have
They
mattered
matter.
in my case. I lost by 40 points. I'm 0-2 on our league. So
Oh, you're 1 and 2. I mean,
I don't think I won one.
it's
Did he
week-
not win this week?
He did not win this week.
No, I
but
lost by like 45 points or something.
So are you 0-3?
Maybe 3. Yeah. I don't think I've won
No,
one.
you're 1 and 2.
I'm 1-2. I won a
Okay.
week. Whatever.
You probably won last week because we probably all high-fived about it.
Yeah.
Saying
I
kumbaya.
forgot. Well, I just so dumb. Like I took Joe Burrow out and I took Pacheco out of my lineup and I added in Geno Smith and some other running back. I don't
This
even know.
week?
This week. So I was really dumb. And that's what, I mean, maybe not the Joe Burrow side of things.
Yeah, I was
but on
going
the
to say
Pacheco
Joe Burrow
side of
didn't do
things,
anything.
No.
Pacheco, see, that's the problem with Chiefs running backs, though. You just never know who's going to be the one. And, well,
True.
really, that's the Chiefs across the board. If you have Patrick Mahomes, if you have Travis Kelce, you're good. But if you look across the rest of the depth chart, in that running back room, you think it's Pacheco. It should be Pacheco. He's the best runner in that room.
Right.
But then you have to sprinkle in a Jerick McKinnon game like 3 times a year
Yeah, and
if you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
one down, 2 more to go.
He just gets touchdowns on games that come in, like, I don't know, a handful amount of times. Like, you know, you count to 5 and you're like, okay, it's Jerick McKinnon's turn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's count to 4. Okay, yeah, week 9, this is going to be Jerick McKinnon's turn.
every so often. Yeah.
I don't know how Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo and the rest of that team runs that offense, runs that defense. But what I do know is you can't trust anybody in Kansas City unless their names are Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Harrison Butker. Those are the only 3 you can really trust.
Yeah, because
in that
they're
system.
consistent each
I'll go with
week.
that.
You know, you're just gonna put your hand in the cookie jar, and the one you pick out is score next touchdown.
You know, Sky Moore's just not it. Kadarius Toney is just not it. Just all around, it's kind of defeating. You know, thinking about how the Chiefs have taken a step back this year, where you watch the Eagles on Monday Night Football, and they look like they got better than the Super Bowl runner-up team that we saw. Like, it looks like the Eagles actually took a step forward when people thought they'd take a major step back. They're up there as arguably the best team in football right now. Have you seen how well they've ran the football?
You mean
So I heard a stat today, and the Eagles have rushed for, I think, 188 yards a game. I believe they lead the league. The Dolphins are right behind them with 185, and now that's thanks to 8 touchdowns and 400 yards by Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert. But if you look at the Eagles, and I'm thinking back to what I heard. It's not what I saw, it's what I heard. I believe it was the Eagles on like progress yards or on those 188 yards, they haven't been touched on like the first 70% of those runs.
well, last night DeAndre Swift, there's a run he had in the 4th quarter where he could fit a semi truck to the hole.
Mhm.
He was untouched for about 15 yards.
Mhm.
So
70% of those yards are like untouched yards,
the 30% that is probably when they do their QB sneak on 4th and 2.
which that may be the best play in all of football.
I'm telling you,
That
I don't
1
care.
yard butt push is the best play that the Eagles have.
Anyone in the NFL has. It doesn't. Like,
No,
if it's,
but the Eagles execute it.
Yes.
Everybody has it. The Eagles just do it right. And every time they run on 3rd and 1, they get a yard and a half. Like, they get what is projected to be gotten in that moment.
I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how they do it. I think everyone wants them to stop doing that, which I mean, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's
And
what I
don't
heard.
plan on seeing them fixing it anytime soon.
Unlike your car.
Unlike my car.
Sick burn.
Hey, you're right. It doesn't matter.
Oh, we talking about my car now?
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
you?
tell me the car story.
So funny.
So last week, Andrew was talking about inconveniences in life,
No, I was talking about inconvenient, like wishes upon people.
and somehow it happened to his co-host that
You wanted people to fart in public, like
Embarrassingly.
yeah. And how do people hear or smell that when they're on a stage? I didn't really understand that one, but you know what? I digress. But I do wish whenever I'm driving and somebody ticks me off, I don't flip them off. I don't honk my horn. I just, send something out into the world, right? Into the world of car gods. And I say, if this guy, got a nail in his tire, wouldn't be mad. If this guy got pulled over in the next 3 miles, wouldn't be mad. So I kind of wish like, hey, you piss me off. Well, I hope you have a very inconvenient day and you have to go get a new tire because that's going to cost you $200 and about 3 hours.
Yeah, so that happened to me. I don't know if I ever made you mad before, but I had to get 2 new tires because the front driver.
You had to get 2?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Oh no, I'm not even done yet, sir. So I had to get 2 new tires, and they couldn't. I had to have my car over the weekend to them because they couldn't get my parts for my oil leak
And an oil leak.
So-
Okay, so it's all adding up. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
It's very inconvenient for you.
Yeah, it was expensive.
How much did you end up spending?
$1,300.
Whoa! Now, okay. So you got 2 tires and you had the oil leak. What else happened? Because there's no way that equates to $1,300.
They said that because of the oil leak, there was a belt in my car that needed to be replaced.
Sure,
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
They
Nope.
said.
No, I called
They
my consultant.
said.
I called my consultant, Colby. He works at a dealership for Volkswagen, the same brand of car I have. And he's like, yeah, if it has oil on it, you need to get it. I can look up exactly what it was. Because they said,
See, I gotta tell you, man,
They emailed me the bill.
I don't trust those scumbags
You got
that
a
run
tiny
auto
little-
body shops.
Tiny little unicorn in your radiator poking holes everywhere. That's gonna be about $1,500 right there.
And it's funny because I don't know the answer. Like
Yeah.
I can sit here and call them scumbags, but I don't know like if that's actually right or wrong.
Right.
I just kind of nod my head. The only thing I know is when I go get my oil changed, and like it's pretty expensive to get your oil changed nowadays. I should probably
$100,
learn
man,
how to
yeah.
do it. But they always pull out the air filter. And they're like, hey, you probably need a new one. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Do you know what I breathe in this world? You know what I breathe in every day? I breathe pollution. Like, I'm fine. I don't think this air filter is helping me.
These shitheads literally said,
Here we go. Tell me how you really feel.
Here we go.
Something is leaking, costed $10.
Let me.
You got an itemized bill?
He did get an itemized
good.
bill. Something is leaking.
We don't know what it is.
It literally just says something is leaking. Symptom. And then they add a bunch of numbers and letters in there to make it sound professional.
Yeah.
So it's 909012B. Like, what? You have a handbook and you're like flipping to
That's the
like
$10 code.
This page. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. APD oil and fuel dye, $10. Leak detection labor. So what it
Oh.
took you to see that I had a leak, $43.
Dang.
Let's keep going down this receipt. This is kind of fun. Wait a second, you got a military discount? Nice. You did not serve. You got 2 military discounts.
Somebody called Gronk. This guy's in USAA.
Look, timing belts. PRT DISC 10% off service military discount. LBR DIC 10% off service military discount.
That's
Bro,
cool.
you didn't serve.
Look at that.
Okay, overall, what does that save me in the long run out of my $1,300 bill?
I don't know, but they took off like $53 here. That's kind of lit.
A win is a win. A win is a
You
win.
got another one on the tire discount. Tire military discount, 10% off. What is happening?
That's cool.
Where did you go?
Firestone.
Firestone? I guess everybody is a service member to them. Because if you look at Brandon up and down and you're like, yeah, you served.
Yeah, impersonating an officer over here. Look out.
Sooner or later, we're going to have the cops coming in. All right. Yeah, this is crazy. That's a lot of money, man. How inconvenient was that for your day?
I didn't have a car all weekend.
Yeah. It wasn't just one day. It
That's
was
a big
3.
inconvenience.
But yeah, so
But But it all started because you wished an inconvenience on him that would be a low pressure on the
Yeah, don't
tire.
mess with me.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me.
That's what we learned. I don't know what I did to you, but obviously you wanted me to have a really nice weekend.
I'll have to go back and listen to the last show to think, what did you do to piss me off?
I don't even know we got on that topic, but we did. It happened.
Would you say we're moving on
I'd say we're moving.
in a car
I had to deal my car back, but so yeah,
with
I guess
two
that
tires?
works.
They call those motorcycles, Brandon.
All right. So, how would you say week 4 went overall for fantasy, for just games in general?
Well, if you owned anybody on the Dolphins, you had a great week. If you owned anybody on the Chargers outside of Mike Williams, you also had a pretty solid week. Justin Herbert put up points. Keenan Allen threw a touchdown and caught a touchdown and also had 200 yards receiving on 20 catches. Yeah, pretty insane stat line. Tyreek Hill did Tyreek Hill things. Devon Achane did the impossible, ran for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He's on
Raheem
our bench.
Mostert would have had an even bigger week for those Mostert owners if it weren't for the fact that they were up 50 points in that football game. You might as well give the rookie those touches. But I think the biggest piece of news, to the most positive set of news from the weekend, was seeing that Nick Chubb only has about a 6 to 8 month recovery period and he could play next football season. That is absolutely incredible.
You see like the slow motion video of it and just this is his knee and
he-
leg. It's like it doesn't make sense.
It snapped. Everything
stretched his
snapped,
ACL.
and all of a sudden it was just a torn MCL. Like, that is incredible. That is God at work. He was, kept his watchful eye. I mean, those that say that, angels, God doesn't exist, any of that, check again, because that injury was gruesome.
Yeah.
And for him to come out only with a torn MCL and a fully stretched ACL to the knee that has given him problems forever,
That's pretty lucky.
that is just unbelievable. I'm just so happy for him. And, we're in a football season where injuries have just become everything. Like, when I mean in a football season, I mean 2023, 2024. Like, this football season, it's just injury after injury after injury. I mean, we saw it with Mike Williams. Mike Williams is out for the year.
That really sucks.
So you have all of these things, and it's just to get a bit of positive news out of the injury report. I don't know. It kind of you ever have that feeling where you are just like so anxious and there's just like a bad pit in your stomach and you're just like, oh, I just feel sick. Like that in a season of injuries, that like made that feeling go away.
Yeah, there wasn't as much this week we saw injury wise.
No, but we will get some returners. Like David Montgomery should be back this week, which I'm excited about because I needed another running back. We saw some emergers this week. We're still seeing the 2 Rams receivers, Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Both of them are still going off in Cooper Kupp's absence, but it also helps that the Rams are losing in majority of games, or when they want to win, they throw the football. You should get Cam Akers to your Vikings this week. I don't know if he'll be the starter over Madison eventually. I would think he would.
Well, if Madison holds on to the ball,
yeah, that would
maybe.
help. That would help.
That definitely helps.
And then Tank Dell had a really good performance this week as well. So there's just a lot of guys that are probably available in your leagues that are sitting atop of the charts that you should burn a waiver on. You should absolutely burn your waiver this week.
Jameis Winston.
Not him. He single-handedly lost the Saints that football game. They were up 17-0. 17-0, and he could hardly get a first down. What did he get? 1 first down?
Yeah,
did he get one?
I don't know if he did, but it's always good when
It was
Jameis
punt
Winston
after
plays
punt
football.
after punt after punt, and the Packers ended up coming back and winning that football game. That was just
Wait, so if the Packers would have lost.
I don't want to say amazing because I hate the Packers, but the way that they came back after losing to the Falcons last week was pretty remarkable. We'll go with that word.
Yeah.
There's just guys that, are worth snagging right now. that are really worth snagging. Side note, I traded I didn't trade Travis Etienne. I traded for Travis Etienne in another league. Speaking of the most hurt news. So I was watching that game and I watched him go off, and the guy I was sitting next to at the time had Devon Achane. And I'm like, hey, like, do you want to give me Devon or I can give you Mostert? Like, I don't really care. And he's like, how about I give you, X trade for Mostert? And I said, I think I got a better trade for you. I said, how about I give you Mostert and Jordan Addison, and it's a dynasty league, for Travis Etienne? And he said, yeah, I'll accept that trade. So I slot Travis Etienne into my lineup this week, which is a great addition after losing Nick Chubb, also in this league. But I traded a 31-year-old running back and a really good rookie wide receiver. Like, I want people to like think back and realize, like, hey, this is a pretty good trade for him because his wide receivers were dog doo-doo. Like, he has Keenan Allen, who's really good, obviously, but he's old. He's up there in age. Chris Godwin, who's with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And Rashid Shaheed, who is great from a return yards perspective, but not much more than that. And this is a PPR league. So, he gets the best of both worlds. He can pair up his running back with his handcuff. He gets a top wide out on a team that loves to throw the football in the Minnesota Vikings. And I get Travis Etienne, who I bought low on. I sold high and bought low.
Yeah, that's honestly a really good trade. And we're going to get to that time, next week is when we could see Cooper Kupp come back.
Mm-hmm.
We could see Jonathan Taylor come back.
Alvin Kamara is already coming back this week.
Yep, he was only 3-game suspension. So we have those guys that are on IR at the beginning of the year. They're about to hopefully come back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the waiver wire this week is very important to get ahead of that. So this week, give you, like we always do, I'll give you some guys, tell me if you take them or leave them.
Mm-hmm.
I have Ezekiel Elliott.
I will leave him, but he should be the handcuff to a Ramondre Stevenson owner. So if I had Ramondre Stevenson, I would already have him.
Okay. We talked about the Chiefs loosely. I said Jerry McKinnon. He did have 3 catches, 19 yards.
I'd leave him.
2 touchdowns. But
like I said, you get like 3 or 4 games of that. You don't get that every week.
And the problem is you don't know when those games are going to be.
And I don't want to guess.
Exactly.
So I am a leave on him as well.
I have Melvin Gordon.
This one's weird because of the Gus Edwards stuff, but he only had did he get a concussion? Was that confirmed?
I don't know if he has a concussion, but also Justice Hill is fighting turf toe.
Yeah, so it's not worth it to me. Melvin Gordon wasn't good when he was a number 1 in Denver. He took the year off, and I really think that hindered him. I'd rather have Zeke and slot Zeke in as a number 2 running back than I would Melvin Gordon, who could potentially be a 1. And plus, Lamar looks really good right now, and he looks great running the football.
Yeah, I think we always talk about the Ravens every week because, they were figuring out. I think now they kind of have it figured out. They just have to protect their quarterback. Moving on to wide receivers, Tank Dell, for some odd reason, is only 32% rostered.
Instant ad. So I actually drafted Tank Dell in 2 of my leagues. He was 1% owned. Okay. And that's when I drafted him. He was like my last pick because I've been a huge Tank Dell fan forever. I watched him dust Sauce Gardner in a bowl game 2 years ago when Tank was playing for Houston and Sauce was Cincinnati. I had that stretched out because I think I'm right, but I know I could also be wrong. Brandon, fact check me as I continue.
Cincinnati.
There it is. So not just a hat rack, my friend. Tank Dell is outstanding, and he looked great in preseason. He seems to have built a really nice rapport with CJ Stroud, and he's getting the chunk plays that you want out of a receiver. He's getting plays like Devontae Smith got with the Eagles last year. He's getting plays like Tyreek Hill gets in Miami. He gets the big plays, the deep balls. And when you catch the football, you're going to keep a nice relationship with your quarterback. Good chemistry says, hey, I'll keep feeding you. He'll keep getting fed the rock. And I bet he gets about each game, he'll have at least 1 catch that's over 40 yards. That's just Tank Dell. He's small, he's shifty, he's fast. Really good receiver. And, if he played on a better team in college, like when I say a better team, like, in Alabama or whatever, and he was paired up with like a Bryce Young, or if he went to Ohio State and was paired up with CJ Stroud, he could have been a wide receiver that was up for the Heisman. He's that talented.
Yeah, the Texans are a good young team. Nico Collins is good too.
Yeah, he looks really good. Robert Woods is meh, but
He's old.
Nico Collins, take some of the heavy names on defense. Give me Tank Dell, who, like I said, his shiftiness can get by almost anybody.
Then I have Romeo Dobbs. 42% rostered. 5 receptions, 73 yards on the go-ahead touchdown this week.
Yeah.
It's also the Packers. So,
the Packers are also a weird team because the only person I really like on that team outside of the running backs is Christian Watson. I like Luke Musgrave. I think he's a decent tight end and could really become something there. I wouldn't say I'm like, jumping to get Dobbs right now, but I'd keep monitoring him. He's not like, hey, Tutu Atwell's available, I gotta get him. I'll sit back and wait on Romeo to be, something more than he is right now.
Joshua Palmer, he is 4% rostered.
Yeah, you're gonna want to add him.
He had 4 receptions, 66 yards, touchdown this week. That's pretty good.
It's either going to be him or Quentin Johnston, and I haven't seen anything out of the TCU rookie to be a number 2 wide receiver.
No.
And plus, I believe they lost Carter, right? Carter's in Vegas. See, I'm like stretching out my thoughts today because I'm guessing. But Josh Palmer should be the number 2 now. And the Chargers like to throw the football. They have success throwing the football. Keenan Allen can't catch everything.
He can try.
I would love to see Quentin Johnston be the number 2. I just don't see it happening this year.
No.
Palmer's proven. I would take a flyer on Palmer.
Then Adam Thielen.
Funny about Adam Thielen, because I'm like, do I jump on the Thielen train again? Because I feel like every football season, every fantasy season, it's like, I guess I'm going to add Adam Thielen again. Now you're a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
So it's probably like, in your blood to add Adam Thielen. But let's remember this too, that Bryce Young wasn't quarterback in the team. It was Andy Dalton. And I don't want to see what we saw out of Adam Thielen to be like, oh my gosh, that's going to happen too when Bryce Young comes back. Because was it happening when Bryce Young was there?
No, it wasn't.
So again, I'm a sit and wait with Thielen. Bryce should be back sooner rather than later, but I thought Andy Dalton looked good, and I thought Adam Thielen looked really good. Now, would I snag Adam Thielen now is the ultimate question. Because if you wait on him, like I would say wait, but I may be too late by saying wait.
See, it's a revenge game this week. The Panthers do play the Vikings.
Very much so. And the Vikings aren't very good. They don't look very good.
The Vikings are not good at all.
You know what? I'll go the other way. At first, I was like, hey, wait on him. Why don't you snag him and put him on your bench? There's probably somebody on your bench worth dropping to add Adam Thielen. Yeah. So I would burn my waiver. I'm gonna retract what I said. I'm gonna go with add for him. I think I only added about 3 of those guys that you gave, maybe 4.
None of the,
because I said I'd have Zeke over Melvin, but I still don't. Ramondre is the best back in that backfield, and then I said Palmer and Tank Dell. So yeah, I said 3. So I'll change it to 4. I'll put Adam Thielen in that mix.
Even just on the topic of leaders right now for like overall stats, the Vikings have 3 guys. Kirk Cousins is leading the league in passing yards. Jefferson's leading the league in receiving yards, and Danielle Hunter is either tied now or first with sacks. And the Vikings are 0-3. There's 2 teams in the NFC North that are 0-3. Also, your Bears. I did not expect
Justin Fields is a liability.
You're saying that now? You're changing your stance on him before the season?
No, he just is a liability. Like this is how I live in Justin Fields' world. Before Justin Fields was good last year, I said he was a liability. Then he went off and was a great fantasy player. I traded him for him in all my leagues. I'm like, yes, the Justin Fields that we all prayed for has made it. And now I'm back on the liability train. I just don't know if he reads defense as well. Like, he just misses a lot of open receivers.
Do you think it's that or the plays are calling for him? Because he did retract a statement about the coaches last week. He did do that. But,
Look, I don't think Luke Getsy is a very good offensive coordinator.
Okay.
I don't know if Matt Eberflus is a great head coach either. But what I do know is what I see. And when I watch replays, when I watch game film back of Justin Fields, there are times where he misses wide open receivers and he's looking that way. And I think it's because he feels like his pocket is collapsing so fast because the offensive line sucks. The pocket is collapsing so fast that he feels like he has to scramble out of it in order to make the throw. He's not a, hey, snap the ball, I have to throw it now within a second and a half to 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's, no, I'm trying to extend the play. And so he's trying to do too much right now. And so that's why I'm feeling like he's a liability, because you can't have somebody with this offensive line trying to do too much. You have to do the simple play. You have to make the simple throw. You have to just find your first option and go, or look off and throw to your second option quickly. You can't be waiting for deep plays to develop because you don't have time. You don't have time in that backfield. I was looking at the draft pick lists that the Bears could have this coming year. And, they could end with the number 1 pick based on the way they're trending. It's Denver. It's Chicago. It won't be the Vikings. The Vikings will get wins. Like, those will come.
Yeah.
But you're at the point right now where you're looking at, okay, will the Bears have 2 first-rounders already?
Yeah, because you guys, I think.
No, we have a second-rounder from the Panthers. We had the first-rounder last year. We had 2 first-rounders last year. But what you could do is trade the number 1 pick again, because you don't need – unless you're all out on Justin Fields. If Justin Fields is the problem, you use that pick on a quarterback. If you think Justin Fields is not the problem, you have to make that line better. You drafted Darnell Wright this year. He's the right tackle for the team. Now what you need to do is look at the Cardinals and say, you don't think Kyler Murray's the guy. Why don't you trade up with me? You get the quarterback that you want. I get your 2 picks here in the top 10, and I draft offensive tackles. I draft offensive linemen. That's how you have to rework this team. You need guys up front in order to make things work. I mean, that's across the board. If you don't have a good O-line, you're not going to be good at football.
No,
you're not going to have a good football team. And right now, the Bears don't have a good offensive line. So that's why they don't look like a good football team. But I really do believe that if you give Justin Fields an O-line, that you could be a good football team. So I say he's a liability now because of how bad the offensive line is. But will that change with a different quarterback? I don't know. But I think what you have to instill in him right now is, hey, get rid of the football faster. Stop trying to do too much with your legs, because all it's leading to is us punting the football and you getting sacked or you getting tackled, and you're going to ruin your longevity of your career because of how many times you get hit.
Yeah, same with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's longevity is like, that O-line is not good.
No, they
And
aren't.
With he is playing with a calf injury. Like, as much as the Bengals don't want to say anything, he is playing with a calf injury. The way he's a lot slower, and he's not running as much, which is good, but he's getting sacked a lot. So that's what I saw with that game last night. I mean, they snuck out a win against the Rams.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah,
just barely.
Barely.
But all in all, I'm going to get off my soapbox now of the Chicago Bears. There are a lot to like across fantasy football right now, at least in my leagues. I found a way to be 2-1 in every single league, and I'm 3-0 in our ESPN league. So I'm feeling pretty good. We're feeling good. Even though Justin Fields is my quarterback in one of those leagues, I'm still going to start him every single week. And I will probably sit there like, I don't know if it's Key or Peel, but it's the one meme where he's just like sweating.
Oh, yeah.
And it's coming down his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's me every week in fantasy football.
So right now I'm trying to see when Cam's going to be back so we can do our game picks. So,
he's probably listening.
He probably is.
Right?
Maybe.
I don't know. How
But,
about Anthony Richardson, though? He should be bouncing back this week.
I
He's
hope
on
so.
pace for a week 4 return. That'll be good, because talk about a talented quarterback. It's him.
Yeah.
He runs really well. He sees the field really well, and that's not like a great football team. No, the Colts aren't a super good football team. Now, can Breece Hall be something more than what he is? Like, can the Jets go back to the Breece Hall of last year instead of saying, hey, we got Dalvin Cook in the offseason, let's share time? How about we just give Breece Hall the football and just let him go? Can we just do that, please?
Give him the ball and then give Dalvin like the short yardage plays.
Like Breece Hall he's got every bit of the ability to be better than Saquon Barkley was coming out of college. Like, even though Saquon was drafted higher, much, much higher, Breece Hall, and with all his accolades, his body size, his everything, his injury history, or lack thereof, because it's only been once, he's got every chance to be better than Saquon Barkley, but you have to let him go. You have to let him do that. The Jets are a good football team outside of Zach Wilson. The Jets are a good football team. Like, they can be really good if you focus on giving Breece Hall the football.
Yeah, you have to focus. I mean, the Jets, I think they probably had more of an idea of what to do with Breece Hall before the Aaron Rodgers injury, but you can still have him run the ball as much and keep the ball out of Zach Wilson's hands as much as possible. Cardinals upset the Cowboys.
Yeah, what was up with that, man?
Is Joshua Dobbs legit?
He looked good against the Giants, too, in the first half.
Now, we have to also look, okay, the Cowboys are out without Trevon Diggs the rest of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Josh Dobbs is a good quarterback, though. Like, I wouldn't say, like, he's really good. Like, oh, my gosh, I have to go get him.
No,
like,
yeah, he's not. It's
but
James Conner's doing
I think
James
it was
Conner things.
I think it was a total Dallas Cowboys game.
I mean, the Cardinals have the Cowboys number every year.
I think it's a total Dallas Cowboys game. Like, Dak Prescott plays really good football, and then he just sucks. And then he'll play really good football, and then he sucks, which is why he won't ever be anything or amount to anything in the playoffs, because he'll play really good football, and then I'll have a game where he just sucks.
Yeah, he's teeter-totters. He's like good, bad, good, bad.
I couldn't believe Tony Pollard didn't find the end zone either. I lost money on that. Minus 175. Down. Speaking of making money, though, the Follow the 100 videos
there you
on
go.
Hurrdat Sports. I am in the, say it with me, green. Yes, sir. We are green after a parlay hit on Thursday. It was Major League Baseball, a total bases parlay. That put me up right to the 100 mark, and then I made money on college football this weekend and preserved $10. So I am up $50 on the boss's money.
That's a crazy bounce back from last week.
Yeah, because I was going down and I was trending in the wrong direction, but one parlay brings me back. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Do you do like anytime touchdown, or do you do spread for those?
Well, for NFL or what? For college?
For college, you only can do spread, I'm pretty sure.
Well, some sites allow you to do props. I don't do props there. I do over-unders and spreads mainly. I stay away from the money lines. There's just not much value there in college football. In the NFL, I do a lot of prop bets. I believe, what was my underdog play this week? I think I bet the Titans, and they looked like booty cheeks. I can't remember, but I did a dog, and that dog lost. I was about to do the Panthers, though, even with Andy Dalton, and that looked okay for a little while. But no, sometimes I do player props, and for the bet that I lost out on Pollard, I did Kenneth Walker. I did it was the 3:00 slate games. It was Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, and what was the last 3:00 game? It was the Bears. I did Kelce. And so all three of those guys should have ended up in the end zone. And Tony Pollard did not. I don't know how. He ran for like 122 yards. He had 23 carries or something like that and couldn't find the end zone. It was beyond me. It's one of those sick to your stomach moments. Here we are. We're back. The sick to your stomach, except this time it involved my wallet. Now, there was a moment in that game where PI was called in the end zone late in the game, and then they took it back. It was probably a good call, but, I don't effing care. I wanted it on the 1 yard line because Tony Pollard would have ended up in the back of the end zone.
So I was yesterday, I was just sitting at home listening to Pat McAfee while I was doing some work. And it's rumored that the Jets inquired with the Vikings about trading for Kirk Cousins.
Do it.
But then the Vikings are punting on the season. That means we're just
That's
throwing
all right.
in the towel.
That's all right, because here's what you can do. you guys could stay 0-3 if you got rid of him. Because if you have Kirk Cousins, you're winning 6 to 9 games, even though you started 0-3.
Yeah.
You're winning 6 to 9 games. If you punted on the season, you could end up with Caleb Williams. And then think about Caleb Williams, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison. Now Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams come back together. Something magical could happen.
I don't like the I personally
You don't like the idea because it doesn't normally happen to Vikings fans. But to Bears fans, it happens to us every year. It's magical having a top pick.
I don't like tanking because I feel like you have people that like, they pay all this money to go to a game and you're going to a game. They're like,
but you don't pay a lot of money to go to Chicago. It costs $2.11 to go to the Broncos Bears game this week.
That is true.
And then it cost 89 cents to go to the White Sox game on Thursday. Some teams in Chicago don't require much money, much spending.
That is true. I just don't like that. I know I think the Jets signed Trevor Siemian. He's a quarterback, wasn't he?
He is a quarterback. He played at I was going to say Memphis, but that's Paxton Lynch. And Trevor Siemian was also with the Cowboys. Siemian played. I don't know. I don't remember.
Didn't he play for the Broncos too?
Northwestern, maybe?
Yeah, he did play for Northwestern.
Wow, Big Ten. I got
Trevor
there.
Siemian played for the Saints, the Bears.
He did.
And
Trevor Siemian.
he signed today with the Jets. Whatever. Jets are going to suck. Mike Sauter, your team is ass.
Okay.
Shots fired.
And this is why you got wished that you would have deflated tires right now, that moment.
Right there.
Right
Look
there.
at that. There's your
Mike Sauter
photo evidence.
listening to this right now saying, okay,
He won't listen. Whatever. Well, more wins than the Jets. But besides the point. So Kahm is back. We could do game picks. Woo!
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
What's the record right now? Because I know I'm not too.
I crushed it last week though.
Not too.
Yeah,
I
Kahm,
know.
you're 2-4
See?
overall.
Boom.
I'm 5-1. Andrew, you're 500.
Hell yeah! All right,
Get a bounce back week.
let's go. What does last place have to do again? What was the punishment? Have we ever decided the punishment?
We didn't
Should we
decide
decide
that.
the punishment right now?
No.
Okay.
We should have a punishment though by next week.
You have to
By next week, we'll find a punishment.
buy brand new tires
Mhm.
for Brandon.
I'd love that.
No, whoever loses buys tires for the rest of the guys. $2,000. What a great thing.
Because when the
Okay.
season ends, it'll be in winter, so
Mhm.
all season tires.
Snow tires.
So that's the
baby.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever loses has to stand on the corner of John Galt Boulevard with a sign that says, I suck at fantasy football.
For how
I mean,
long?
I'll take that. That's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For 1 hour.
That's the least embarrassing thing you probably could have come up with. So
Mhm.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Look at that. We already made up it. There we go.
1 hour. I suck at making like NFL picks or something. We can create the sign to fit the segment, but
Like I'm a pretty fairy, and you had to prance around the intersection while holding that sign. So I'm a pretty fairy.
you have to wear a pink tutu and a coconut bra.
In winter.
No, I don't want to do that anymore. I hate the cold. It's a good thing I keep moving north.
Mhm.
All right, let's do these games.
Pick it.
All right. For game 1, Vikings versus Panthers. 0-3 teams. I'm going with my Vikings. I am doubling down.
I'll take the Panthers.
I'll take the Vikings too.
Bills
Lock it in.
versus Dolphins. I think this is going to be a very high scoring game.
Mm.
I am going to go with the Bills.
I'll take the Dolphins.
I will take the Dolphins.
Not that they're going to get another 70 points, but hey, who knows?
Their defense is just as good as the Bills. Give me the Dolphins.
And then Monday night game, Ravens versus the Browns. I am going to go with the Ravens.
I'll say Ravens as well.
We can all ride this game together if you want to.
What's the fun in that?
Solidarity.
Let's go with massage parlor, Deshaun Watson, and the Cleveland Browns. Is this in Cleveland? I think so. I think that's a good pick. In
Sounds like it.
Cleveland.
I mean, last week Deshaun Watson threw the ball backwards.
Hey, You know what?
He got out of a sack though.
Last week, the Ravens lost to the Colts.
Yeah.
To Gardner Minshew. Minshew Mania.
That's one of the Monday night games.
Yeah, they're doing 2 Monday night games now. I don't necessarily know why.
I think it's because there's no content on TV.
Isn't there just one Monday night game this week?
No.
There's
I thought
two?
they were doing it every week.
There's 2. There's the Chiefs and the Jets, and then the Giants. Oh, never mind. That's the what?
Yeah. I think there's just one this week.
Oh, okay.
No, and then Seahawks Giants. Why did I say that was the Monday night game?
Yeah, the Ravens are. Where are the Ravens? Are you sure?
Baltimore.
Yeah, Ravens, Browns, 1 o'clock.
They play at noon. Yeah. Monday night is Seahawks Giants. There's just one this week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But that was the whole because of the writer's strike and stuff. They were doing 2 games so they can have content on TV.
Yeah, but now Kitchen Nightmares airs on Monday night.
Oh, look out.
I'll be watching Gordon Ramsay.
Just get upset. The commercial just makes me want to puke every time I see it. Whatever
You
that
idiot
slop
sandwich.
Is. Ugh.
Why is Travis Kelce? I'm not even watching a Chiefs game. I see Travis Kelce on every commercial. I'm not I see him as much.
Hey, what's the best Swift duo out there? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or DeAndre Swift and Jason Kelce?
I'm going Jason Kelce and DeAndre Swift.
I mean, since it's a football podcast, I'd stick with the 2 dudes that play football.
Here's what we need to do. We got to take this approach. And I think I heard this on PMT, but we either go all in on Swift or we don't. All in on this Taylor Swift shit, or we go all out on it. We have to decide. I don't care. But if we go all in, we got to talk about T Swifty.
I'm in. She's the new queen of Arrowhead.
Okay, so Cam's all in.
I am all out.
Dang it.
Okay.
It's like Master Chef. Oh, so it's up to me, Taylor. Do you get your apron or no?
You all in or all out? I can explain my reasoning, but I don't. I just don't get So
I'm all out.
I just don't need it during
Taylor,
games.
you go home.
They're someone tweeted, "Oh my gosh, Taylor Swift is having a chicken nugget and ranch." Every normal person does that. I didn't get that was such a crazy phenomenon. That
Wait, you get to do that a lot?
I survive off Dino Nuggets.
What?
I'm a big fan of the Tetris shaped
I
ones.
never get chicken nuggets.
It's like a game while you eat.
That might be the new thing now. I'm actually going to play with my food now.
Tetris nuggets. Yeah, it supports playing with your food.
Tetris nuggets.
Yeah, they're just shaped like Tetris pieces. It's awesome.
You give those to kids and they're just like, what's up with this Lego? Why does this one look like a Z?
I just loved how
Mom, I hate these Legos.
The game highlights were just Taylor Swift having a good time. That was they'd go to commercial every time. It's just Taylor Swift banging on the
there
wall.
should have been a prop bet for how many times she was shown on TV.
Oh, I bet there was.
There should have been somewhere.
Yeah, I would take the over on that.
Well, it was probably 5.5. How many times Taylor Swift will be shown on TV?
Yeah.
Or mentioned, too. Yeah. But
if it was mentioned, she was mentioned about 30 times. She was mentioned more than the Bears got offensive yards in that game.
I think I saw a stat. It was she was posted on Bleacher Report, Sports Center, and ESPN 33 times during that game.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we talking about?
Taylor Swift.
I thought we were all out on her.
We all are out on her.
I'm out then.
I'm not a Swiftie. I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna keep it there.
I'm just happy for Travis. Go get him, boy. That dude right there.
I'm just happy for Travis. Yeah, this dude just makes millions of dollars. He's the best tight end in football. I'm just happy for the guy. He now has popularity.
He's made it. He's made it to the upper echelon. He's good.
I'm done talking about her. I'm done.
I'm done with this pod.
Okay.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get out of here. All right. This was week 4 preview. God bless fantasy football. My name is Brandon. This is Andrew. Cam on the cam. Have a good week.
Yep.
Yep.